Talk radio will actually educate, inspire, and make you think. The future is now. Topics and music that affect your life from Universal Broadcasting Network. Tune in at ubnradio.com.
This. Hi, welcome back to Plus This. I'm Kathy Deach.
And I am Eva Tingley, and I sound crazy because I am.
Summer colds make you feel boo.
I know, so if I have like a cough attack, just, ignore me.
I'm going to throw water on her.
I have lots of throat lozenges and water, so
and
don't worry.
She's not touching anyone. She's
not, yeah. I'm not. I'm like, hey, nice to see you.
Exactly. Usually we do like a little chitter-chatterati before our guest is here.
Chitter-chatterati?
Yeah, chitter-chatterati. But our guest is so fierce, she's like got a double tonight.
Yeah.
She has many things
So we're doing a backwards show.
So we're doing a little backwards, but we're so excited to have television and movie superstar, Retta!
Applause! Why, thanks.
Welcome.
Thank you. Great. Definitely like on the dream guest.
Yes.
For sure. And you have been so busy that I'm lucky enough to know Retta since back in the day, like New York City, Kevin R. Free.
I remember watching you on Rosie perform, and I was like, "Oh my God, that's my friend Kevin's friend right there."
And Kevin had invited me to be his guest to your first Comedy Central show.
Oh.
And I had a rehearsal.
I was going to say you didn't go, huh?
I had a rehearsal. I was in,
and you didn't go.
Broadway shows are terrible, and they're like, "You will come to rehearsal," and so I couldn't get out of it, and I pouted the whole time. And
like
he had some, but I watched it, and I laughed like hell at my seat, from my seat, my gosh. But we've known each other a long time, but you've been out of the country. You've been
you're so busy.
You guys, I have a schedule that you wouldn't believe. Yes, it's been a little bit hectic. I was not aware of how much of Hollywood filming does not take place in Hollywood.
Yeah, not anymore, right?
Yeah, and it's really disconcerting because I want to sleep in my bed, and I haven't been able to.
For sure.
This summer I have.
Your new show on NBC, though, is shooting here.
No.
What?
Trust me when I say I'm getting my feelings hurt left and right. No, it's not shooting here. But we're only doing 10 episodes because we're a mid-season premiere. So I don't have to be gone for that long.
That's
5
good.
months.
By the way, it's called Good Girls, and I love that it is all kinds of different women who are the leads of the show. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Good Girls?
Yeah.
So it's 3 moms who, have their own reasons for being completely stressed out. They do, and obviously it doesn't go smoothly. So that is what the pilot episode is about. Them thinking that they're going to be able to solve some of their problems really quickly, and it only creates more problems.
Now, would you consider this show a drama?
Yes.
And
I would say dramedy. Like Girlfriend's Guide is a dramedy, but there's way more comedy in that than there is in Good Girls.
Right.
So I'm moving closer and closer to a straight up drama.
I know.
Wow.
And To the Bone for sure, which is a Netflix movie
that we just watched, and we were like text because I was like, I can't talk to you because I will have a coughing fit. But let's text all about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I love that role for you because it was a little bit more like soft for you.
Yeah, I felt like it was the first time I got to play normal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I wasn't extra. I just said the lines.
I know. One of the lines that you had was like, "Oh, we know all the tricks." Like it was just like it was like so great, and I was just like, "Yes." Yeah. It's like a normal human being in a normal.
Yeah.
I mean, not a really normal environment, but yeah.
The character was. It wasn't about her, and she was in a situation where these people have real problems. So I wasn't there to be
right.
unless the situation called for it. And it didn't.
Yeah, it certainly did.
It never did.
We were aware of it before the movie was released on Netflix because of all of these, like, body positivity and is this glamorizing anorexia and all this noise that had come up. And there was a really incredible article that Lily Collins had done on Us Weekly,
right,
where she talks about how a friend of the family, like someone her mother's age, said to her, oh, you look amazing. I want to know how you're doing it. And she explained, actually, I'm playing an anorexic and I'm losing weight for the role. And she was like, but who cares? It's working. And she literally got in the car with her
because
mom.
Lily, it really needed to take the pounds off.
Yeah, I mean, she really was such a fatty, honestly.
It was just so crazy that it was like, oh, yes, that you're going for extreme thin. That's what I want. Can you tell me how?
Yeah, it's like saying, I'm going through chemo. It's been really tough. I've been losing weight. You're like, but it's working.
But girl, you're so thin.
It's working.
Exactly. Your hair's falling out. It's
That
okay.
cat suit looks amazing.
Oh my God, so
You're
terrible.
like, but I have no hair. What the?
I mean, one of the parts in To the Bone that just like rocked me to my core was when she grabs her hand around the upper part of, I can't even do that on my wrist, guys.
I know,
my wrist, there's no fat on my wrist. I literally can't even do that on my wrist.
I can barely do it.
No, I literally can't. And so I was like that. I was like, oh my
That
God.
just made me
Oh
really
my
sad
God.
just now that you brought it up, and I'm like, oh, I can't do it. I've never tried.
No.
Girl, you got that Bang and Watch on.
That's true. That's true.
That's why I can't do it.
Exactly. All the bling on.
I know. I just have all this bling on. I can't possibly get my hand around it.
Amazing. Yeah, but the criticism about it is fascinating because I feel like it comes from people not really wanting to accept that anorexia is a problem and that thinness is thinness and that's the way it should be.
Right.
So then you see this movie that like talks about it being a problem, or they expect anorexia to be like the Holocaust. Do you know what I mean? Like they want people to be tortured and on the verge of death the whole time. Where that movie had comedy in it, you saw them have joy.
I mean, they also did have, they were also tortured, but they did show like what real life is. Like when things go bad, you still are laughing about whatever's happening also in your life.
I mean, you still have a personality.
Right.
It's just that a part of that personality just can't get over this one thing. And so it becomes your everything, essentially. But, I mean, it's always in the back of your mind. You're always thinking, I can't eat this, I can't eat that. But, oh, my God, what are you wearing? You're still a person living in a life.
Right,
and transitioning into what I feel like we've talked about on the show, and I'm wondering if you have the same thing. Like, it's in food obsession for all shapes and sizes. Like,
yeah, it's like not only for anorexics.
Like, I feel like I know so many people, including myself, I thank God have had a bit of relief from it. But food obsession, like really, like always negotiating with a plate. In front of you.
Never realized that I had it. It didn't dawn on me until I was with a good friend of mine who is very aware of her food addiction, and she would talk about it. She's like, it's a sickness, la maladie, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. La maladie. And I was like, and then I realized I would have moments because people always be like, you never eat. Yeah, because I go all day. I don't eat. And then I gorge myself at night, and that's bad too. I don't do that as much now. I eat all the time, but that was my thing. Like, in other words, they're like, "How are you so big? You never eat,
girl."
And I was like,
People
"Come to my house."
Listen, people would say that to me in Footloose all the time. They'd be like, "I don't know how you do 8 shows a week dancing like that and are still your size." And I'm kind of like, "Well, first of all, it's none of your fucking business. Second of all, maybe it's not really food. Maybe it's metabolism. Maybe it's I have a lot of muscle. Maybe it's, you know what I mean? Like they expected me to be 2.5 pounds because I was a dancer. So yeah, it is really fascinating. And I think that what I loved about the movie, which it sounds like people are having trouble with, is that everybody seemed normal except for that thing.
Right.
Like, and I think that it makes people check in with themselves about who is in their life that could have that issue.
Well, and like that doesn't, just because you're anorexic doesn't mean that you are to that extreme. There are anorexics who look like us.
Yeah, that are they're anorexics trying to get to that space and can't.
Right.
And are killing themselves with whatever, there are bulimics that do it. It's, they're not all quote unquote what they would call successes.
Right. Right. Yeah, I found it fascinating that people had such an issue about that.
When you were younger, like I started getting bigger when I went to college, but I was always like thick. I was always, I was a cheerleader, but I wasn't the biggest. There was another girl who had way more butt than me. Yeah.
I would have
I
been
was
so
totally
jealous
going to
of
say her
her.
name. I was totally going to just say her name.
She had her like skirt. She had her skirt where it was like
this Italian girl. She was thick as hell, and she had these crazy, like so much boobs. I was like, God bless. I mean, because if I would try to do a cartwheel with those boobs, there's no way I'd make it out alive. But she would strap those puppies in. She could do it. But I remember when I was younger, like I was like, God, I used to be like, especially with after school specials, I would always be like, I wish I could be anorexic. Like I wish I could wish I could do it. And
I wish I had the discipline to starve myself.
So I wanted to be on the other end of the crazy spectrum.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I wished I could puke. I wished I could puke. I have no gag reflex.
That's totally gross.
You're welcome.
Oh, that is not true for me.
Yeah, really not true.
I am gagging.
I fight with my toothbrush every day.
Me too. Me too.
I'm like, why are you so aggressive?
No, Peter's like, are you okay in there? I'm like, yeah, I'm just brushing my hole.
Oh my God, that is hysterical. I didn't get that gene.
Yeah. Well,
gene.
lucky for your next boyfriend. Oh. Hey, call me. Call Kathy.
Call me. hate deep throat.
Yeah.
Terrible. It's terrible.
Oh my God,
My family
that's
watches
amazing.
the show. You'd never know.
No, yeah, your entire family.
So we also want to talk about the thrill that is Parks and Rec. I mean, I feel like now that it is also on Netflix, it has created an entire new group of people who are obsessed with the show. I mean, they are binging that.
Yeah,
like
well, that's the
hell.
thing with TV now is that people can put stuff on the back burner and be like, I'll get to it later, and then it's a whole new experience. They're experiencing it from the beginning, unlike the rest of us who are like, hello, where you been? You know what I mean? There's just so many shows, so many platforms. So it doesn't, you don't have to wait for DVD because it's kind of in your house.
And they go
Yeah.
all out. They go every time it says the next episode. Yes.
Right.
And I actually contacted you after this happened to me when Treat Yourself was like the big episode. And I was at the Grove, which is like this outdoor mall for people who've never been to LA. And I'm like walking in the farmer's market, and these two, like, they could not have been whiter. These two, they had frat shirts on, maybe even like a Kansas hat on, and literally were like, treat yourself, and they were did like an entire bit of it, and I was like, oh my God, Retta. Like, this has like turned into like a humongous thing.
Yeah, it's I tell this story a lot that I used to do this thing where if I went to lunch with somebody, I would be like, all right, so if we search Treat Yourself, the last time it was tweeted, if it was within 7 minutes, you pay for lunch. If it was longer than 7 minutes, I pay for lunch. I've never paid for lunch. And I bet you if you try to do it now, it would probably be within 10, 12
I'm going to look it up. I'm going to look it up.
I know we have to take a break, so it's like totally perfect. We'll have the answer to that when we come back with Retta. Are you going to jimmy the system and do Treat Yourself now?
I know. Don't ruin it, guys.
You know that 67% of American women are size 14 and above.
You mean they look like this?
Yeah, girl.
So then where are we in television and film?
And where are we in fashion magazines and clothing stores?
Yeah.
So we want to help out entertainment and fashion and media. Catch the F up.
Topics get hot. We want to hear what y'all have to say.
And they will get hot.
Absolutely
I have
true.
a question for you. It's kind of like a
dirty little one. So if you had to do a love scene with somebody else famous, who would it be? I will.
Oscar Isaac.
Oh, love how I asked you that and you had an answer like right away.
We sang, we laughed, we cried. We
You
actually
gotta go
didn't
back.
cry.
No, we didn't cry.
We didn't cry.
Everybody should be able to be seen in. I mean, maybe not every single campaign, but let's try to include it in as many campaigns as we can.
Which we told
We're
you.
just putting it in
We're
the
gonna
cauldron for
marinate,
you.
We're gonna get those candles.
Yeah.
People are having sex with us. We need to show that we're like part of this society, and being sexual is part of that.
Absolutely.
So tough titty, you're fucking uncomfortable.
Watch a fat girl love herself.
Applause, applause,
But just us.
applause.
Just us.
Applauding.
Applauding. So good.
Plus this.
Oh, busted. So I did it both, and Retta's like, oh, so I did the hashtag. I looked up the hashtag treat yourself, and she's like, oh no, you gotta look up the hashtag and separately. I'm like, oh, so it's both. But either way, Retta owes us lunch.
It's been an hour.
But it's
been an hour.
That's pretty amazing.
No, it's pretty amazing
Yeah.
considering that. When did that come out?
That episode probably aired 7 years ago.
I know, so like an hour ago.
7 years ago.
Maybe 6 years ago.
Wow.
Maybe 6 years ago.
Wow. And you've
Wow.
been pretty candid about how you like that you kind of graduated from the let's bang it out in 5 lines a character and like how like you've kind of passed the sassy baton on. Like
I mean, I ran away from the sassy baton. I wasn't I didn't want to hold it at all because it's like I feel like that's the only character a person who looks like me ever gets, and it's always like the sassy meter maid, the sassy receptionist, the sassy nurse, it's always that. It's always been that. And so Parks kind of let me have a different kind of personality than I usually get called in to do. And that's a product of Mike Schur wanting, the characters to be fully formed human beings. Even though we were silly, it was a comedy.
oh my gosh,
but
hilarious.
able to be more fleshed out or whatever. So I have been lucky since then to not be. I still had people wanting to put me in that category.
But you get to say thanks.
And I've gotten and I've gotten to a place where I am like, and my managers at this and reps at this point are like, well, here's the offer, but I know you're gonna wanna no. So
I love that. I love that you have that support.
It's nice to be in that.
It's hard.
place now.
I mean,
Yeah.
We've talked a lot about it because
A
we go
lot
out
about
for
it.
a lot of the same parts.
and some of it is absolutely ridiculous.
I mean,
And
I
we
say
have
that
to
my
say no.
pigeonhole is mom or prostitute. It's like one or the other. I don't really get
Really?
anywhere in between. Just mom or prostitute. That's it. I was like, that's my typecasting.
Yeah, for sure. And every character of mine has to have food in her hand in some kind of way, or has to be obsessing about food.
Well, our thing, remember, we talked about, I just hated that I would go and do something and the clothes didn't fit. And I'm like,
Yes.
isn't this your
Talk
job?
about that.
Isn't this your job?
Donalyn Champlin was here from Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, and she was like bursting at the seams to talk about it because she's never had anyone to talk about her stuff, about going to photo shoots and giving her sizes.
like literally
Yeah.
giving her measurements and then not bringing anything bigger than an 8.
I recently did something where I told them where to order from, because that's all I do pretty much now, is because there are no brick and mortar stores that are selling plus size clothes.
Exactly.
Right.
So if I gotta drive 20 minutes, which I did yesterday to go buy stuff for my vacation. But I have this, I told them where to order from, and we knew about this photo shoot for months, and they had nothing. They had gone to like Macy's, and I was like, I'm not wearing anything with flowers on it. I'm not wearing that. I did that. I did that in college. I'm over the floral thing. And I like some pieces, but I'm just like, I can't, and all the weird patterns. No, I want what I like to wear. And I've worked hard to find it. And I told you where to find it. And you didn't do your due diligence. And so I was in a photo shoot and I was like, am I really going to have to wear my own clothes? I was so pissed. Like my publicist was like, maybe we can send so-and-so to go get more of your stuff at your house. I'm like, I don't want somebody to have to go and figure out how to get into my garage, get into my lobby, get upstairs, go searching through my closet.
Right.
Because this person who's getting paid to do this
didn't follow
do their
instructions.
job.
Didn't follow their instructions. Like,
I can't
seriously.
tell you how many times I've worn my own clothes on stuff.
Oh my God, that's all I do is wear my own clothes.
Oh well, on sets for sure. I mean, like,
And now it's not the case. You know, it's not the case. But
is that something you feel like you had to put into your contract though in order to get it?
No, but now I get to the point where I'm like, this is on you. So I'm like, this shirt isn't closing, and they want to shoot. So what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And I had that happen.
Well, I would think with Girlfriend's Guide to Divorce, I mean that is
they worked hard because they have to make someone who it's hard to dress look good. So I gave them places that I shop. They found places, and they made it work. And, you know, sometimes I'd be like, there's so many things. There's a lot of things, not everything is for you. It's not your style. So I'd be like, no. And then there's some stuff where I'd looked at it and I was like, no. And it was there. I was like, I'll try it on. And then I'm like, oh, snap.
Yeah.
You done changed my mind.
That's right.
It's a whole new world.
That's right. Right.
I was like, I have to fit that into my repertoire.
Well, Canada,
That's right.
Canada is killing it, though. Canada is way ahead of the U.S. You don't think so?
For clothing?
For plus size clothing?
Well,
sorry,
I couldn't find anything.
I just got
else there.
really excited in this
Well,
microphone.
we obviously aren't in Canada doing it, but online we have found that there's a lot more Canadian.
Oh,
online
you're gonna
countries.
have to. Oh, okay. So there's not. They don't have a lot of brick and mortar, but it's really wait, in Canada?
Yes. Yeah.
You're gonna have to show me because I could not find anything. We would shop here and they would ship it.
Oh, online.
Wow.
Online in Canada, there's a lot.
There's a lot.
For
it
sure.
costs more money to ship it to you.
Yeah, to ship it to here.
Yeah.
But I guess if you were
That's so weird because I couldn't find anything while I was up there because I was so bored when I had downtime because everybody would go home when they were off. So I was like, I'm not flying back and forth. So I'd be, in Canada when I had downtime. And so all I wanted to do was shop. And only thing I could do was buy handbags because they always fit.
Girl, next time you gotta text us because we know them all. Really? Yeah. And then we were all like, oh,
I know.
Shipping to the United States.
We should have called you and been like, girl, go to the store, pick it up, fly
Yeah.
it back.
I don't think those stores they're not in Vancouver. They might be on the
Toronto
East Coast.
side.
Oh, maybe.
But they're
maybe.
not in Vancouver.
That might be
because
true.
I searched I tweeted
Well,
out and there were
Cherry
Canadians.
Velvet is
there
in
were
Vancouver.
Vancouver, yeah.
There were Canadians who were like, I could not find clothes.
Wow.
And so I was like, where can I go? And like the drive was so far that I was like, I'm not driving an hour to go.
That's a shame.
You know?
I mean, we gotta
You're
get together.
going to have to send me because
Oh,
I'm sure
we'll
I'll be
let
up
you
in
know.
Vancouver
There's one
again.
called Sexy Plus, but I feel like they might be a Toronto
And maybe
company.
in Toronto, yeah.
Well, but we'll go through our
Like,
Instagram.
Trust, we know them.
I mean, I'm obsessed, and all I do is look at dresses all day.
Me too.
On
Same
Instagram.
as-
yeah.
Get it together.
You know-
Someone please get rid of some stuff. Just send
Yeah,
her some
send
shit.
her stuff.
Send
to
her
Canada.
some shit.
Once you find I was so scared of clothes. I didn't want to put on stuff because I just thought it was terrible. So I was wanting to wear big, loose, whatever. And then I had lost like a little bit of weight, and my friend made me go to Dress Barn, and I was like, "Girl, what we gonna get a Dress Barn?" And she's like,
just
"Just
judged.
try."
I just judged,
So
yeah.
she's like, "Just try." And there was this dress. I realized I like a swing dress, and I'm an A-line. I never knew because I didn't care.
Right,
Because I'm
right.
like, I'm just wearing a big shirt over some jeans. I never wanted to wear dresses. Now I live for a dress
Dresses
because
are
it's
my
only
favorite.
one piece.
Right.
And it's light as a feather.
And so my friend was like, just try these on. And I couldn't believe that. I guess I didn't believe that I had lost weight, one. And this is when I'm wearing a 24. It's not like I was svelte. I'm not small. And I'm back to the 24. But I had just lost a little bit of weight. And so I remember putting on this dress and I was like, it accentuated my boobs. It looked like I realized I was hot on an empire.
Yeah,
Back then I
that's
was hot
right.
on an
You
empire.
find your shape and you're all
Yeah.
in.
And it changes, my vibe changes now. Now I feel like I have a broader spectrum to choose from because I'm not afraid of looking a certain way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm
Right,
like,
right.
oh, this is gonna look bad, and you're like, I'm sorry, have you seen this material? This
Yes.
is hot.
Yeah.
So it opened my eyes, and I will always credit my friend Shalisa
Oh,
for,
yay,
Thanks,
for
Shalisa.
opening my eyes to like find something else, to try something.
Yeah.
That's great.
At the dress barn.
At the dress
At the dress
no
barn, and I
less.
cleaned up. I bought a lot of stuff from the
Because you could get a
dress
sale
Yeah.
at Dress Barn.
You
Yeah.
think?
Yeah. Amazing. Well, one of our dear friends and your dear friend, she's been on our show. She was one of our first guests.
Yes.
Last season, Rosa
Rosa,
Graziano. Her question was, she wants to know how you pack so much stuff in your magical suitcase. She's waiting for it.
Oh, well, I've what's she talking about? My carry-on? Because I learned that you have to have at least one outfit for the next day in the carry-on. Like you have to have.
Yeah, because if
that.
they
I
lose
guess.
it, if
Yeah,
you lose
then
it,
you have nothing.
Yeah.
But I plan out my days, so I know what I'm going to wear, or generally I know to plan at least to plan 2 shirts to 1 pants, never 1 to 1 because that's just going to fill up your suitcase.
Too much.
Rosa, our dear friend, Rosa is like, I'm gonna take all this. I don't know how I'm gonna feel. And I'm like, I have to decide before I go how I'm
Oh,
gonna
see,
feel.
I'm very much like Rosa. I'm like, I don't know. I need options.
I used to
be
be
like,
like
I
that
don't know. I
too.
might want this like gauzy dress, but I might want this structured dress.
Yeah.
So I don't know how I'm gonna feel that day. I gotta bring both.
I have to know
both.
what's going to
Rosa,
happen.
I feel you,
I
sister.
have to know what's going to happen, and so I can
Yeah.
plan for that. I don't have because nothing makes me crazier than coming back from a trip having not worn something. Even if it's shoes.
No, I've done that
Even
too.
if it's shoes.
I've been mad too, going to the
everything-
East Coast
and I'm
for
like,
sure
Because
when
I'm
it's
like,
cold.
one, I could have bought something and fit it in here
Mm-hmm.
because I just wasted space and
Yeah.
breaking my back trying to carry this suitcase,
Yep.
and I'm not wearing all this
Yeah,
shit.
see, I'm like, it's okay. I didn't wear it. I'll just
Oh,
hang it right
no.
back
Oh,
up.
no.
When I
I'm
have
not
to
mad
go
about
back
it. I'm not
east
mad
and
about
it's
it.
cold and I have like a sweater or a pair of jeans I never wore once, I'm just like you. I'm like, I could,
exactly.
yeah. And
But
I leave stuff at my parents' house all the time.
That's one of the
It's
differences between me and Rosa, because Rosa also keeps all those red notices on her phone and doesn't clear
Oh
stuff
no,
out.
that makes me
And
nuts.
I'm like, I want every red
Me
circle
too.
off
But
my
there's
dang
only
phone.
2 people. Like my mom has on her iPhone. I can't even look at it. Like literally 2,800 and something
I've seen
emails. I'm like,
30,000.
how?
I'm like, that's when you have to just go
No,
in and
no.
shut it
You
off.
just delete. You get rid of the email
Delete
account.
everything.
You need to hire someone to go through and
No,
start
how do you?
deleting.
That makes me anxious. Like first of all, Kathy and I share an inbox, and I was like, look, I have. This is my thing. If there's nothing left to do on it, we need to get it out of the inbox. It cannot be in the
She
inbox.
can't stand it.
Because it feels like there's something I
Right
need
now,
to do.
there's like
Yeah.
5 in there, and she cannot.
No, and
handle
I'm like, honestly,
She's
do we
itching.
really need all of these?
itching.
I'm
I'm at the
feeling
point-
like I want to get rid of them all.
I'm at the point, like, I'm bad. Like, I need to check Twitter, make sure I looked at all the at mentions. Not that I'm going
Right.
to reply, but
No, but just
at all
look.
the. I go to Snapchat, I'm like, let me read all the messages. I go to Instagram's the hard one because I have the most followers on that. So I'm like, go real quick. Let me go real quick. But I feel like I'm not. People sent me these messages. I need to at least look at
Right,
it.
sure.
And then I
Right.
decide you're crazy. I'm going to block you.
Right,
But you
right.
know what I mean?
which is helpful. too.
Yes,
the block,
yes,
the block
yes.
button is a helpful thing. And there was
Oh.
another question.
Yes. So, well, there's several questions from Miss Tiffany, who I think what's fun is, okay, she says, you're clearly a force of nature regarding perfect comedic timing. Is comedy your first love?
I enjoy comedy. I don't know that it's my first love. I mean, I do stand up. I don't do it as
You
much
also
now.
sing.
I sing. Acting is really my love. So right now I'm in that drama vibe, and so I'm really feeling that, and I'm really liked what I got to do in this upcoming season of Girlfriend's Guide. I'm really excited about this new show because I feel like people get to see me in a different light because they knew me as a stand-up, and then they saw me in comedies, in parks, and then appearing in different things, but usually a comedy. And so I'm finally getting to a place where I can, flex a different muscle. And I like it, I had to cry so much in the pilot that I was like, it's so cathartic. Who needs a therapist? Just join a drama.
And the next day, you kind of glow a little.
Yeah.
You have that no toxin glow
Right,
in your
yeah.
face. I used to like that in acting class. I would always go to my Meisner class, which is all like this deep repetition and like drama. And oh my God, I'd be like a pile of mush and then sleep like the dead.
Right.
And the
for
next day,
sure.
people would be like, you look so great. And I was like, I know. I cried my head off.
If I did a drama, I'd be like, hey, we gotta schedule the scenes to closer to the full moon because I'm really emotional during the full moon. Can we schedule that way? I'll really hit those notes.
So I do love comedy, and I love good comedy. But I just like performing. I just like working with people. I like doing a scene when you're like,
Yeah, it's just
you
like
know,
feels
so
so
great.
good.
It really does. But now, do you feel like you became a stand-up because you wanted to get acting opportunity? Is that why you did it?
I wanted my original need was to have my own sitcom, and at the time, all those sitcoms were the leads were comics. I felt like they were just giving out shows to comedians, so I was like, oh well, I'll just do stand-up, and maybe I'll get my own show. And that's why I started doing stand-up.
Your comedy is so brilliant and so smart, and that's what's so amazing. And I think that's why I wouldn't even necessarily cast you as the sassy girl first, because your stand-up is so like, give me a break. It's so like, oh no, I'm going to tell you about yourself.
Right.
Which is like not really sassy. It's like truth-telling. So, I mean,
and the thing is, it's not that I don't have a problem with sassy. I have a problem with the laziness of not going beyond that. That's all people ever say to me. Like, sassy doesn't bother me. I can be sassy, but when you assume that's all I got.
That's all,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know?
I love.
That's what makes me
Listen,
crazy.
I love that you get to have all these colors. Please go watch To the Bone. That's on Netflix now. Girlfriend's Guide to Divorce. When does that start back up?
August 17th.
Oh my God! 2 days for my birthday.
Yeah.
We're going to have a watching party and have a fabulous trip. She's taking a well-deserved.
Oh my gosh, I'm
vacation.
telling us all about it before the show, and I was like,
she's living our dreams.
okay,
She's
but
living
tell
our
everybody
dreams.
who's not following you, who's crazy, how they can follow. I mean, I don't know how no one's following. They're not following you yet. But.
On Twitter, Instagram, and Snap, I am unforrettable. UNFORETTABLE.
So clever.
Even though people can see that and they still spell my name with an H. And then, I have a Facebook fan page that I post to, and I get messages on there too. I get a lot
she reads
of
them.
people.
She
I
reads
do
them.
read
She may not respond, but she does read
yeah,
them.
but sometimes I get overwhelmed. But I get a lot of, will you marry us?
Oh.
Oh,
Or
something.
do the
from-
prom, do
like
the prom
from-
thing.
Like from the United States or like from other countries? I have a lot of fans
United
from the
States.
other countries.
No. Not will I marry them. Will I perform their marriage? Will I go online?
like will
and-
you
Yeah.
get
That's
officiate
interesting. They
him,
see
yeah.
you as like
Isn't that weird though?
like
yes,
yeah.
like a very pastoral
Preacher,
position.
preacher.
That's
I
right.
love it.
Preach. That's right. That's right. And
Thank you.
obviously the good girls, not
Good
the
girls.
good girls, just
That'll
good
Yeah.
girls.
that'll start in January on NBC.
Amazing. Oh my God. All Retta all the time,
so
guys.
full. Your life is
You're
so
the
full.
best. Thank you for making
Thank
the time
you.
for
Thank
us.
you, no problem.
And we did a great interview with Melissa Massey, and we're going to show it to you now, and then
love
come talk
Melissa.
about her
And
cute
talk
clothes
about-
when we return to Plus This.
Hi, we're back. Plus this, Kathy Deach,
Eva Tingley.
and we have the lovely owner of this store that we have been talking about this entire time.
And we also have more new fabulous dresses on if you didn't notice.
We did a change. We did a
Costume
costume
change.
change. Sorry about it.
We're so fancy now,
So
guys.
this is Melissa Massey.
Yay! You guys, you don't understand this. This has never happened to me before in my life, where I have gone into a store that has normal sizes and plus sizes, where literally I was like, ooh, she was like, here, ooh, here. Like, everything I possibly wanted, I could try on. Like, that has never happened, and I'm just so grateful to you for that.
And you're getting a little emotional.
I am getting, you can hear it in
that
my
is
voice.
like a new thing. And I will tell you that I was a little late and rolled in, and it was like, things are waiting for you in the dressing room. And I was like, oh, and they all, like, I had a fight about which, I was like, I can't put on another one because I'll just be mad that I don't know what other one.
No, it was like, which one to wear? I don't know. They're all good. Like, this is my top 22.
Don't make me kill my babies.
Right? Yes,
So
exactly.
how did you know that you had that thing? Because that's like a special thing.
Well, I did watch like 6 hours of footage of you guys last night.
Oh my God. So she did her homework.
I did know what they looked like, kind of. I was guessing a little bit, but I was like, she's a little shorter. Is that okay to say?
That's her. She's way shorter.
She's a little shorter.
They've all seen us on Instagram.
Not in those heels.
They know how short she is.
So I pulled shorter styles for you, long and knee for you, and I mean that's what I do.
I mean, you're good at your freaking job.
I can dress women, make them look good. And
I mean,
don't
and
care what
literally
size they are.
everything I was like, oh, and I don't even need a spank with this. This looks amazing.
We really try to not wear Spanx.
I mean, I love it.
I mean,
freaking love it.
I wish we could all just wear Spanx and they'd be comfortable.
Right?
Because they do make us look a little... But you know what? I am known to throw them out halfway through the night, like in the bathroom.
Oh my God, you're
in
amazing.
the tampon
I'm done with
disposal.
you. You're just like shoving it in there. Sorry, ladies on her period, because spanks are going in here.
I mean, I can't. I know they're a little expensive to be doing that, but it just happens.
Yeah.
All the
I mean,
time.
it's
I mean,
like,
at
at
least-
some point you're like, it's rubbing my skin raw and I'm so uncomfortable. I totally
Or
get
at
it.
a certain point, you're like, it is starting to come out.
Like, just the potatoes are coming out of
We're
the
not just-
bag.
I feel like they
They need
expire.
the skin needs to like breathe.
Yeah.
'Cause I get the ones that are like
Oh, I always say,
yeah.
buy the smaller size.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then you're wearing them like,
and then you want to die.
why am I what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. So
yeah.
tell us, so 16 years you've been in LA.
Or you
No,
just
I've
missed
been
it.
I've been in LA for longer.
Okay.
Um,
No,
Not
I'm
much
so
longer.
sorry.
I mean,
meant to
right
wait
when
till-
she got out of high school. Right when she got out of high school.
But, no, I don't care. I'm older. But that's okay. No, I've had the store for 16 years, and I moved to LA, not really with the intention of staying in LA, but I had a great job, and I moved here from New York, and I made red carpet gowns that were beautiful and expensive for a very well-known designer in the 90s that you guys don't even know about now because you're way too young. But anyway, I didn't want to work in that price point. It was an amazing experience. It was really fun, but it wasn't obtainable. So it was really fun to make $5,000 gowns and $10,000 gowns, but like nobody I knew could ever, like my friends would come to the sample sales and barely be able to buy the
Right,
samples. So I was like,
yeah.
I always knew I wanted to make clothing that, even though I am in the higher end bracket, but like everyone can sort of buy something here at some point.
Yeah.
Even if it's like a special occasion. It doesn't have to be a wedding dress, but like, you know, any sort of like cocktail dress or work dress that on a special day, most people could buy one.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'm not in that fast fashion price point. That's not what I do, but because I make everything in LA, which is the other reason why I stayed in LA. Instead of moving
Which is
back to New
amazing.
York.
So, because most people send out stuff to China or Singapore or Thailand or whatever, and you're not. Like, you are making everything in Los Angeles. I want to reiterate that. She's making everything in Los Angeles.
Right here, which is amazing. And
It's
you
fun.
also do stuff to measure.
Yes. So everything in the store is offered to be made custom made pretty much for the same price. Sometimes it's a little more expensive depending on how much longer but we also don't price vary between our Missy and our plus size like some brands do. Like for $20, I'm sorry, I'm not going to make you feel like, oh, I'm chubby, so I have to spend $20 more for the same dress for the skinny girl. It's
Thank
so
you.
annoying.
Thank
Target,
you.
pull it together. That's all I have to say. Target's been doing
But
that.
it's not. It's actually. It's not Target. It's actually, and it's not. I will say it's not the retailers.
Okay.
It is more expensive, but not enough to make it worth it for me. I think.
Right.
You know,
right.
I like if you're a size large or a 1X, I'm not going to charge you $20 more. But
Which I appreciate
But-
because it's like, so because I'm slightly bigger, I have to pay more, but I get that there's like more fabric and stuff, but is it that
it's
such
not-
a discrepancy?
it's not. It's nominal.
Right.
That's
It is.
So I
It's
appreciate
nominal.
that you
Yeah.
that you do that. For
So where
Los
did this
Angeles.
philosophy come from? I mean, were you just like like having clients who would ask you for gowns that you're making and talk about how they couldn't find stuff? Or?
So when I moved to LA, I worked for a really high-end designer, and I knew I didn't want to go into that price point. After that, I worked for a company where I learned how to manufacture clothes less expensive. But when I realized how they were manufactured, I couldn't do that either. Because the truth is, and I don't need to be all like kumbaya the week before the election, someone is paying the price if you're buying stuff cheap. For sure. You know, and I understand not everybody can buy $300 dresses or $99 dresses or whatever, but I really try to tell my clients, buy one nice thing a season.
Right.
Or, you know, and then eventually you'll have 4 nice dresses in your wardrobe that you love, that fit, and, you know, that are special.
Yeah, and then you can, like, use that to mix and match with other things that you have.
And I love, like, I have great, like, bloggers that come in and they'll wear, like, you know, oh my God, I got the most amazing jeans at Old Navy. And then they'll wear, like, a beautiful cashmere sweater. I'm like, that's cute.
Well, tell us about this one. What's this dress?
This is one of our best dresses. It's a fit and flare. It's a print that we did that's for us. We do not all the prints, but most of the prints we do in-house, which does, you know.
That's amazing.
I know, it's
we are
unbelievable.
not for our prints.
I did try it on and had to decide between this or this. The mannequin got it. Just saying.
It's really quick and match.
It was too big for you.
Yeah.
Let's brag for a minute.
It was way too big. I was like, I can't wear this.
It's gorgeous.
No, but it's so beautiful.
Well, we love these sort of big, dramatic prints.
Which is so cool that you guys are creating that.
Yeah.
Like I've never met somebody who's like, oh yeah, and I just like made a print on a fabric.
We make a lot of our prints. We buy like vintage prints for inspiration and like wallpapers and I mean all kinds of photographs.
That's so cool.
We are a retail store and we're open regular retail hours, but we do try to get people to like text or email us or call us. Nobody calls, but text or email to say they're coming because we will pre-pull for them.
Like they did for us.
Right. So we do try to do that. If
so
we
we're
know
not
you're
special.
coming.
So we're not special. She just does that.
No, she just made us have the Melissa Massey experience.
No, I just wanted you to know, like, you can come pull whatever you want off the rack, but I'm still going to make you try everything. I do get a little bossy if I know you're coming.
So
I do make you try everything on.
But it's great. So then you can make an appointment to come in and get a fitting and be like all Julia Roberts style. Like, do it.
Yes.
Make an appointment. Like,
and then
take
walk
care
into
of yourself.
Bloomingdale's and go, huge mistake. Huge.
Huge. Do it. I mean, this was such a great experience doing that. Like when you just pulled a bunch of stuff for me, it was really overwhelming, and it's such a wonderful experience, and you deserve it. Do it.
Deserve it. That's the word of the day. Deserve it.
Deserve it.
We love you.
Yeah.
Hugging you out.
Oh, that was so great.
Excellent. Thanks, guys. We'll be back.
Thank you.
Promotional consideration brought to you by Melissa Massey. Custom clothing isn't exclusively for the rich and famous. Melissa Massey is custom-made clothing for everyday wear. A unique combination of custom tailoring and deluxe fabrics that is well made and fit for every size and frame. Made in LA, sold in LA, and online at melissamassey.com.
That was a fun day.
Oh my gosh, that was the best day.
It was really like such a special experience she gave us.
I mean, I literally cried thinking about
you did.
About how like I could go there and shop with my sisters.
It really was amazing, and that we don't get to have that experience.
No,
with our
we
thinner
don't.
Friends.
We don't.
And our outfits are really cute today and available.
I mean, I know that
you could get this.
I mean, this is like the cutest
tunic, white tunic dress.
I have
and
a.
they have it in
I have
gray.
a. Is this called a maxi dress?
Yeah, the maxi dress.
Oh my gosh, it's so cute. I've
And
already
this is
had
a
like 3
coat.
compliments on it
And
since
this is
I've been
a
here.
coat, guys, and I will take full-length pictures in it so that you can see because it is over.
No, the dress and the coat together. And the necklace, which all is Melissa Massey.
Melissa Massey, my little rainbow stones. So cute. We love her. And we were in her store for 4 hours on the sample sale.
Oh, at the sample sale.
If you missed it, that's sorry, LA.
No, you should be sorry because you missed out on an amazing deal.
Yeah. And they still were having some of their stuff available on wholesale, on sample sale. So if you were lucky,
if you were lucky, maybe you could go there and be like,
you get a deal. Still.
Hey, do you have any sample sale
Lots
stuff?
of luck with that, though.
But they have really beautiful new stuff coming out in the fall that we cannot wait to see.
And we're gonna wear some of it.
Oh
which
my
should be
gosh,
cool.
we're so excited.
There were a couple of things that happened that were sort of monumental for us this week on social media. So
yes,
we definitely want
to talk about it.
So
stop talking about clothes.
Sorry,
Kathy.
everyone. We just did a
God.
9-minute segment on clothes. So the amazing thing about Facebook is that you can post an article and you can see how far it goes. And literally, this article got us the most shares, and it was about a woman who had gone to the doctor as a young 20-something and had terrible abdominal pain, and basically was told to lose weight. And
Right, the doctor didn't even examine her. The doctor just brought her in, looked at her, and said, "You need to lose weight." And when the girl asked, "Okay, so how should I do that?" The doctor literally said, "It doesn't matter, just do it fast."
Yeah, you have to do it fast. That's literally what they said. The doctor.
Right.
Someone who's a doctor.
Mind you, this article is written by somebody who has lost 150 pounds, who is now a personal trainer, who now has like a stereotypical like healthy body, right?
Right. But she ended up having endometriosis for 20 years. For
Undiagnosed.
No reason. Undiagnosed, because doctors are dropping the ball. I wanted to read a quote from it. A review of studies published in the journal Obesity Reviews in 2015 survey showed that healthcare professionals' negative feelings about fat bodies can lead to misdiagnosis and late or misdiagnoses, negatively impacting patient outcomes. Meanwhile, patients who face or anticipate facing fat phobia and weight bias from doctors may seek medical care less often, and when they do, they may be less likely to comply with doctors' orders, meaning they don't the follow-ups that people tell them. They don't, especially if they're being dismissive. Why would you want anybody to ignore your pain and go back and go through that with another doctor?
Well, or just have a doctor fat shame you.
Yeah.
And because yes, while it might be the reason why it could be, but also give me the time that I deserve, that I'm paying you or that my insurance is paying you to check me out.
Yeah, to actually examine me.
Yeah. And see, maybe I do actually have endometriosis.
Yeah.
Maybe I do have a cyst on my ovary. Maybe I do have something else going on.
Yeah. It's really
check
serious.
that out first.
It's really
It's
a
not
serious
always because
problem.
I'm fat.
Exactly.
I'm outraged.
I want to spend the last 2 minutes on something really positive. But guys, if you want to go to our Facebook page, look up that article, read it. The details in it are unbelievable, and we'll leave it at that.
Yes.
But then there was this amazing little moment.
Really, I can't do that singing. I'll start having a coughing fit. But
I troll the internet for amazing photos.
I
all
love
the
how
time.
you say troll like it's a bad thing. It's not.
I mean, but I go through all kinds of.
You're fishing
photos.
for it. You're fishing for
yes,
it.
I'm fishing on Instagram for amazing photos, and please tag us if you have an amazing photo and you want us to share it, because usually I do if people send it to us. So there was this one of a guy and a girl, and it was so sexy. It gave me all my feelings.
And then you sent it to me, and I was like,
yes. And then we posted it. And then it now
exploded.
Gotten over 3,000 likes.
No, 3,500 or something, almost 4,000 likes.
It's crazy. And people are in love with it. And we have it.
It's up.
Is it up?
Yeah,
and
yeah, they're looking at it now.
It's a position that you would see in any magazine.
In every magazine, when they're
talking about sex or how love, relationship, blah blah blah, you would see that same exact pose, except for never with those two people. And it was so celebrated that,
oh my gosh,
I really feel like it's just because we haven't seen it, and that photographers doing it did that photo as a gig for Glamour magazine.
Right, it was in Glamour magazine spread.
Yeah, so now they're going to start using stock photos that are more inclusive, and I just thought, God, please send us more of those.
Oh my gosh, it was so great, because I feel like personally it's representative of my relationship
for sure. And one,
I have a hot husband, and I'm a chub.
Yeah, and it's beautiful. And their love is so
yeah.
real and amazing. And we just are thankful that that's happening, Glamour Mag.
Yes, thank you for doing
the
that.
other
That
ones, can you
photographer's so
get on
great.
board? Please get on board with that. This has been an incredible show. It's gone by so
I know,
fast.
It's so fast. It's kind of crazy.
It is kind of crazy. And
Wow.
we want you to go see To the Bone. We talked about that.
Oh my gosh, please go see it.
And
it's on Netflix. You can watch it on Netflix. It's really powerful. It has a really great moral to the story. Go see it.
And really moving and about a lot of like mother-daughter stuff too, and all kinds of ways that shows up. And I definitely think it's worth seeing and talking about, and like talk to your kids about like why a movie like that is important. And we just want to thank Retta again that she's on the way to the red carpet somewhere, that she has been a dream guest for a while, and I'm so glad we caught her in the country and in LA.
She's been so busy, you guys. The fact that we got her was like, yes.
Yeah, really amazing. And she's a delight, as usual.
Of course.
Per usual.
And we are going to have a great show for you guys next week, too. We'll announce our guest. It's going to be fun.
Yes, we sure will. So come back next week, Thursday, live.
6 p.m.
6 p.m.
We'll see you. Mwah, mwah,
Thank you
mwah,
so much,
mwah,
guys.
mwah.